David called us saying, you know, hey guys, I got a job for you. And we were saying, great, you know, because we missed out on Fight Club. Really wanted to do that job. But so what do you got? And he says, fingers. Okay, what are the fingers? Tell us about the fingers.
It's a big, long story of wonderful things that were designed and created and shot and succeeded, but ultimately didn't end up in the movie for various reasons.
Go ahead. You right around and threw you in here, so let's get your shit together and then start coming back up there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and maybe, or to get the gun.
Yeah.
Keep it coming, Frank. And
Shit, goddamn it. Fuck. Wow, just take it. Shit.
ready, and action.
Fuck! I'm just waiting all day.
Ready?
This is an appliance that was done for Dwight's hand. Right, so this is the thing where he gets his fingers pinned in the door, and this was built to go over his knuckles like this. So his real fingers are safe here, and then the door is grooved, so he puts his hand right in a very specific spot, and the door slams on this, and this is all rigged inside for blood tubes. And the door can slam on it, and then as the door opens, there are mashed fingers that fall off, and blood shoots out of this. And of course, after all of this work was done, including the sculpture of little tiny fingerprints here, then David showed us the thick rubber gloves that Dwight wears in the scene. But the plus was, it's great because the glove will balloon up full of blood and make it even more horrific. So, so we did the shot, we did the whole effect, and we did some tests that were very interesting without the glove. And it's very gruesome. There's something, I don't know, I think there's something about seeing hands chopped up because you're using your hands all the time, and it's such a familiar thing that when you see this kind of destruction, it really does affect you in a very visceral way.
What the fuck went on with his door?
When we made these fingers, one of the things he said was he wanted to have a cut of them dropping on the floor, and Dwight would snatch them up and put them in his pocket. So we made these rubber fingers, you know, which is sort of like what we would normally do. Our plan was to soak them in blood and in water to give them a little bit of a, you know, extra weight, a little bit of a, you know, gelatinous kind of quality to them. And when we Good job, Vada. Come here, Vada. Just come in. Come on in here, Nevada.
Come in, sir.
Just sing for the camera, because no, come on.
Now
he's mad.
This won't be on the Panic Room DVD.
No, anyway, so when it came down to doing the shot and dropping them on the ground, Fincher's comment, you know, he said, "Looks like rubber Cheetos. They look like rubber Cheetos, man." And that's the extent of the conversation. You know, you go, rubber what do you mean by rubber Cheetos? Well, they just look like rubber Cheetos. Take them away and make them less Cheeto-like. And then, of course, he sees the frustration in your face, and then he loves that, you know, so he just keeps, you know, next time you talk to him, did you solve the Cheeto problem? And you're like, we're working on the Cheeto problem. So this is the rubber Cheeto.
We got Hey, Alec. Cheetos.
We went back to the drawing board and we cast these fingers out of silicone this time, and we determined by dropping silicone fingers and foam fingers which ones bounce the highest, because one thing we knew is, okay, he says rubber, it must mean that they're bouncing too high. So we did drop tests where we dropped the fingers to see how high they would bounce, and we ended up coming up with a thin skin of silicone with an interior core of a resin mixed with lead shot to give it extra weight. So these things, each finger was like, you know, the weight of 3 fingers. And when they hit, they would sort of just go thunk and, you know, barely bounce. So I think we solved the Cheeto problem, although maybe we didn't, because I don't know that you even see that in the film. I don't know. These are foam rubber.
Where are the beautiful handcrafted silicone fingers you may be asking in a offhand? David Fincher has them.
We presented the beautiful non-rubber Cheeto fingers to him in a little case that was velvet lined, and we said, "For your approval," you know, and finally he got off our backs on that one. But see, I mean, does that look like a rubber Cheeto? Maybe it does. Maybe he was right.
We also created the broken collarbone for Steven's character, and the only time that you see it is when he's tied up in the chair, and it's only a couple of quick cuts. And of course, we, as the guys creating it, we're the only ones in the audience not watching his face, but watching the broken collarbone over here, and it was a pretty cool effect.
Try again.
It's subtle, but it's effective because, again, Fincher, in his depth of detailing, he told us about the story of seeing a broken collarbone and how it actually moves when the person moved their arm, the broken collarbone moved under the skin, and how it was just such an abhorrent thing to see, but it was totally real life. So he had us recreate that. So to that end, we created a prosthetic makeup piece like we would normally, but we articulated it inside with a little cable mechanism. So whenever the actor would move his arm, we would also move the control to make it function in the same way. And again, you've got to actually be looking for it, which is the beauty of DVD, I guess, to be able to see it over and over again.
Please go look for the broken collarbone. Actually, it was Sion who had broken her collarbone. Some, I don't know what it was, making tea. He said he heard her scream.
I didn't know if we were supposed to say that part because I also heard it wasn't. She didn't just have a broken collarbone. I mean, David was there, and you figured it out.
I don't know what's going on in that relationship.
See, if we had more to talk, if there was more in the film, we
Yeah.
had more to talk
Let's
about.
see.
We're winding. We know we're winding up right now, and
Wait
we're
a
not
minute.
ready.
Wait a minute. We did a broken leg also. Dwight Yoakam, when he falls down, he gets hit by the sledgehammer.
And 3, 2, 1.
Nothing happened, that we worked on getting hit by the sledgehammer. Although we did some artwork for David. We did a digital shot of him with his cowboy hat dented in, but he didn't go for that. But what he did go for was the broken leg when he hits the ground.
And like a lot of this stuff, you have to be watching for it, for that moment or two that it's in there, but in a very small way.
Ready, and action.
Tom was able to sell that real well in the video, in our video test.
I think we have a clip of that too. Let's watch.
Then we built a spandex unitard that had bones, misplaced and jutting, and an oversized shoe. David wanted him to have an oversized shoe that we could kind of twist around. So we got some. We put all that together and.
Any final words?
I think that does it. Out of this 10 minutes, I think you get about 2 minutes of usable video.
I get enough, that's good.
Good.
Thank you.
Sorry to drag you guys out here.